Hello students, I am recording this video so that you can use it to revise the chapter force and pressure. So let us start. So what is force? To understand this, let us take these examples given in your book. Suppose we have a situation where we have a bucket and we have to draw water from the well. Now while we are doing this, what kind of action is happening? We are pulling the bucket. So there is interaction between bucket and us so that the water can be lifted from the well. So here we are pulling. Now when we have to open a drawer, then we pull it or bring it close to us. When we close it, we push it. Similarly, when we squeeze wet clothes to remove extra water, we twist the cloth. Again, there is interaction between hand and clothes, so there also the force is applied on the cloth. When we fire a bullet, the bullet is having the action from the gun. So in all these cases, we see that there is interaction between two objects and there is some action taking place. So this action is either push or pull, and this push and pull is referred to as force. So a force is a push or pull acting on an object resulting from its interaction with another object. All right, so what are the effects of force? Force can cause change in the state of motion. State of motion could be, suppose an object is moving at some speed, and if we apply force, we can stop it or we can change the direction of the object. And similarly, if the object is not moving, that is the state of motion is at rest, then we can push it, we can apply force to cause motion. So force can change the state of rest or state of motion. It can slow down the speed or increase the speed of the object. Then we have next effect. So if we generalize, applied force can act on a body in the direction of motion, the speed will increase. Suppose the ball is going towards left, you also push it in the left direction, then the speed will increase. Now suppose the ball is going in the left direction and you kick, then in the opposite direction, it will slow down the speed of the ball, or it may change the direction of the ball. So if the direction of applied force is in the opposite to the direction of motion, then the speed will decrease. And if we apply it at an angle, then the direction of the speed will change. Now let us see this with an example. Suppose we have the ball, it is moving here, we are applying force in this direction, only its speed will increase. But ball is moving in this direction, we apply force in the opposite direction, it will decrease its speed or it may stop the ball. Now, if we apply, the ball is moving in this direction and apply a force, then this will change the direction. Now, ball instead of going straight, it will move at an angle. So this is the first effect of force on the motion of the object. Now, the force can change the size and shape of object. For example, if we use a dough, we knead a dough, it can change the shape of dough by applying the force. So, similarly, if we squeeze a toothpaste tube, we see that the shape of the tube changes. So, what force can do? It can make an object move from rest, it can change the speed, it can change the direction, it can bring about change in the size and shape of the object. And at sometimes it may cause all, or sometimes it may cause some effect in these objects. Now, what are the factors associated with magnitude of force? Magnitude means how much. How much force is required to bring a change. For example, if there is a light box that you want to move, you will be able to move it with less force. And if you have to move a heavy object, you will need a greater force. So the amount of force depends on how much is the mass of the object. Let us see here. So magnitude of force depends on mass of the object. More the mass, more is the force required. Now, next is change in speed required. Now, if we want to give higher speed to the ball, we need to apply more force. So, it depends, magnitude of force depends how much change we want to bring in the object. Now, force depends on two main things, that is the mass of object and acceleration of the object. Acceleration means rate of change of speed. Like in how much time you increase the speed of a car from 10 meter per second to 20 meter per second. Suppose you do this increase in 1 second. So acceleration here will be 10 meter per second square. So more the change or larger difference you want to bring in the speed, larger is the acceleration. So the force or magnitude of force depends on mass and acceleration you need to produce in the object. Now let us see the second thing. When there are more than one force acting on the object at the same time. Suppose this is a box. One force is pulling it in this direction, another is pulling in this direction. Now both the forces, if they are equal, then the net force will be zero and the object will not move. And we call these forces as balanced forces. So when more than one force is acting on an object and these forces are not able to displace or move the object, we call that forces as balanced force. Now suppose we have another situation. In this situation, both F1 force and F2 force are acting in one direction. Both are suppose going towards right. So then the net force will be adding of these two forces and this will move the object in the direction of the applied forces, that is towards the right in this case. Similarly, suppose here we have two forces again, but they are in opposite direction, F2 towards right, F1 towards left, and F1 force is greater than F2 force. So F1 will be able to pull the object in its direction and the net force will be F1 minus F2. The object will move in the direction of higher force. Now you can solve these questions and you can find out which of these forces is balanced force and which of these forces is unbalanced force. If the forces come out if the object is able to move, if the net force is zero, then the applied forces are called balanced force. If the net force is non-zero, we call these forces as unbalanced forces. Now, if we take example from our book, that is balanced and unbalanced force, suppose these both boys are pushing the object in one direction, the object will move because F1 and F2 are acting in the same direction. Now suppose they are causing the force in opposite direction, this towards the left, this towards the right. Now both of their forces are cancelled and the object will not move. Here the force is unbalanced force, here these forces are balanced forces. Now again we can see that F1 and F2 are joining, then they are the unbalanced force, they are causing motion. But if these two forces are acting in the opposite direction and they are same in magnitude, they will be net resultant force will be zero, so the object will not move. In a tug of war, both the teams are applying force and this force is unbalanced and the team which applies more force is able to pull the rope in its side. So I hope this is clear about the balanced and unbalanced forces. Now there are two main types of forces, that is contact force and non-contact force. Contact force means when the two objects on which the force is acting are in touch with each other. For example, this animal is pulling the sledge. Now this animal is in contact with the sledge, and it is applying muscular force. So it is pulling this sledge and it is in contact with it. Therefore, it is a contact force. Similarly, frictional force. When we are moving a bicycle on road or a ball is rolling over the floor, there is friction between the surface and the uh, surface of ball and the surface of floor. So this frictional force is again a contact force. The next is the non-contact force. These forces act at a distance. For example, a ripe fruit falls from a tree. Now it falls towards the earth. Earth is causing force on the fruit, but earth and the fruit are not in touch with each other. So such kind of forces are non-contact forces. That is, gravitational force is the non-contact force. Similarly, magnetic force. If we keep two magnets close to each other, there will be gap. As you can see that there is a gap. These two magnets are not in contact, but still there is a force acting, that is here repulsion when the poles are like poles, unlike poles are attracting. So this again is a non-contact force. Electric force. Now you know that if we rub a scale with your hair and you try to attract bits of paper. Now when you bring the charged scale over the bits of paper, they get stick to it. So again, the scale was not in contact with bits of paper. The bits of paper were attracted at a distance. So the electric force also acts from a distance. So it is also a non-contact force. Now here we have an example. We'll find out whether what is the type of force, whether it is contact or non-contact force. So expansion of lungs, it is occurring due to muscles. So and the air fills the lungs, so it is a contact force, and the kind of force is muscular. Two plastic refills rubbed with polythene and kept near to each other. Now there will be electric force, so it is non-contact force and the type is electric. A rubber band suspended from hook was stretched then released. Then क्या होगा इसमें? Then when we stretch it, then we are applying muscular force. So it is a kind of contact force. But suspend, and then when we release it, again there is the reactional force, and it is also a contact force. Falling of raindrops, it is occurring due to gravity, so it is non-contact force and it is a gravitational force. A rocket fired upward to launch a satellite in its orbit. So here again there is contact force which is acting between the launch pad and the rocket, which is a contact force, action and reaction. But when the rocket is in the air, it is non-contact force and it is gravitational force acting on the rocket. So I hope you can do this. Now let us move. In the next video, I'll discuss about pressure with you.